What is going on, guys? It is Wednesday morning, and that means it's paintball question time. What's the best mask to wear with glasses? Tips to playing paintball in the rain, and pros and cons of pop valve and spool valve paintball guns. Michael Vincent first asked, what is the best paintball mask to wear with glasses? Michael, there isn't one. That's the quick and easy answer. It's all gonna depend on the shape of your head, the width of frames, the length of your head. There's too many factors to just simply say that X mask works with everyone's head. There just isn't one answer. It's not like, oh, buy the die 5 because it works with everybody all the time for everyone and every head and glasses and all that stuff. It just doesn't happen. I do think that there's some masks though that are gonna be better suited for glasses wearers. Wearers though, I think that's how you say that. I find though that any of these masks have like bigger lenses typically suit like glasses wearers better. So like a mask like the EVS, like that right there. The EVS, yeah, has a massive freaking lens so that it's maybe a little bit wider and deeper, so they just tend to fit glasses a little bit better. They also have like that cutout on the side, so your legs or arms or whatever the heck they call those things on glasses can maybe not get smashed as much by the foam. So I like the EVS, EVS for glasses wearers. I also really like the Profiler. This is the mask that I actually wear, so maybe I'm biased, but it does have that like wider lens system, so it's gonna fit people with glasses a little bit better. I would always suggest going to a local paintball store, trying them on, because they're all gonna fit a little bit different. Maybe those masks don't work for you. Maybe they don't fit your head right. Maybe the Dye i4 works better for you. Or if you can't go to a paintball store, go to the paintball field and just start asking people to try masks on. I know that I would probably look at you a little weird if you asked me to put my mask on, but I'm gonna let you. So find someone that's like happy and jovial and having a good time, and just ask them to see if you can try their mask on. They might say yes, worst case no, but it's worth a shot. Liam McNabb asked, is there anything I should be worried about or bring with me if I'm going to play in the rain? Electronics? Paint getting wet? A hat to cover my mask vents? I think those are all good ideas. Paintball in the rain. First say paintball in the rain's terrible. I don't like playing in the rain. I avoid playing paintball in the rain at all costs. In reality, you should just keep stuff as dry as absolutely possible. Keep that paint dry, don't put it in pods until you absolutely have to. So keeping that paint dry is gonna be critical to it working well. When it gets wet or absorbs all that moisture, it gets kind of soft and can expand and then start shooting weird and you get bounces sometimes, or maybe it gets more brittle. So keeping paint dry is critical. So only put it in pods when you have to and just keep it dry. I know something that some guys do is actually bring an ice chest, whether it's hot outside or raining, because you can just put stuff in the ice chest, shut the lid, and then for the most part, unless you're in like a hurricane, it's gonna stay dry inside that ice chest. Another thing that sucks about the rain is getting water in your barrel. You get water in there and then paintball goes through and hits that water and can make it spin and gets all loopy and stuff. So some guys actually like wrap tape around their barrel, like electrical tape. I don't know if that really works. It definitely probably helps keep a little bit of water out of the barrel, but it also makes the gun louder. And I think for the most part, when you shoot that paintball, if you're shooting enough anyway, you're not really letting water collect in the barrel. If it rains a bunch where you are, you could try taping up that barrel, see if it makes a difference. Using a lid over the speed feed's always a good idea. But I've also found that if it's raining lightly and not like heavy downpour pouring outside, if I have a speed feed on my gun, I typically am shooting through that paint fast enough that it doesn't really get affected by the water. So if it's raining, I just use a speed feed, not even use a lid. But then again, like I said, I try to avoid the rain. And yeah, keeping electronics out of water is probably good. I think if you're just playing kind of normal, at least with these higher end guns, most of the boards are sealed and don't really get damaged in the rain. But yeah, if you're dropping the gun in puddles when it's on and stuff, you're gonna ruin it. We've also seen guys use tape on like trigger frames and foregrips, whichever piece has the electronics in it. They just wrap tape all over the thing to help like weatherize it a little bit more, to just help keep water out. But to me, it's just about keeping paint dry and making sure it doesn't absorb that moisture or get wet. Bear Thomason asked, what are the pros and cons of poppet and spool valve? gtek versus etek 5? So traditionally, we'll say those spool valve guns are gonna be quieter, kick less, lower pressure, a little bit easier on paint, but require more maintenance and be less reliable. While those pop valve guns are higher pressure, kick more, louder, little harder on paint, but require less maintenance and are a bit more air efficient. But the lines are getting a little bit blurred. In the last like 5 years, these spool valve guns have gotten considerably better. With the guns like the Planet Eclipse Geos and gteks, those guns are just as reliable, if not more reliable, than some of the pop valve guns out there. They're also super efficient. It's gotten hard, man. Like, these spool valve guns at this point, I would say are better than all the pop valve guns. Because in my eyes, Planet Eclipse at least, they've kind of like fixed the problems with the spool valve guns. They've fixed the unreliability problems, they've fixed the air efficiency problems, and they've gotten these guns where they require very little maintenance, at least the same amount of maintenance as like say the etek 5 or their pop valve guns. So it's gotten very difficult to kind of say which one's better. Where we 10 years ago could have been like, well, what do you want? Quieter shot, more air efficiency. And if someone was like, I don't want to kick at all, it was like, well, okay, buy a spool valve gun. And if the person's like, well, I just want to shoot as much as possible, it was like, buy a pop valve gun. But now it's like, oh, they're kind of feature, shot quality wise, they're kind of becoming about the same. So it's gotten very difficult. It's also why I've said previously in other videos, that's sort of why I think the pop valve guns are kind of going away. Because these spool valve guns have gotten so good. So between the gtek and etek 5, differences are very, very minute. And I don't know, honestly, if one's better or worse. I think it just comes down to whatever feels better, because the etek 5 feels a little bigger, and it's kind of maybe easier to take apart, I don't know. But they're very, very similar. Ladies and gentlemen, that was paintball question time. Like always, if you have paintball related questions, do leave a comment below. If it's worthy and I think people want to know, I'll answer it. But for more paintball question times, hit that rectangular box up there, the circle button, and subscribe or the Paintball Ruin My Life store by hitting the square box.